What's up, everybody? How you doing? Chad, chill. All right. Give me 1 second. Good evening, and how's everybody doing? Hope everyone is doing well. Now, I'll probably go over a couple things right here. Just reached, this past Christmas, I'd gotten the attachment for, or Steam Starter attachment for the Aerogarden. I'll show that and talk about that a little bit. All right. All right. I hope everybody's doing well and having a good day. And then, I did my chance to see these today, and so I decided to grab a few. I mean, unfortunately, I don't have much of any fresh pods right now, so I had to pick these up while I was out and about. Right. How's it going, Mrs. Bounty? Bounty by observation, in the fame, Yahaje, uh, Peppy Pepper, Dojo, Sue. Yeah. Oh, hold on 1 second. My bad. There, that should fix that. All right, everybody. Hello again to everybody that I didn't, even those I didn't say hey to. What's up, Eric? What's up again, Sue? If you don't mind me calling you Sue. All right. But while I was out and about, I mean, like I was saying, I mean, within the past couple of days, I put in the seed starter for the Aerogarden. Um, I was glancing over. One looks like it's already starting to get a little root down there. I mean, not through the sponge, but looks like one of the seeds are put down and starting to. And yeah, and All right. Unfortunately, I don't have any other pods in one shot, but oh, seen seen some brown on this one. See? Well, that's what happens when you get pods from places like that, like stores. Some go ham, some everyday Canadian. But yeah, so what I got right here is the box that seed starter came in. So yeah. Um, let's see. Now this seed starter holds 31 sponges. So in essence, you can start 31 plants, and it didn't come with the sponges in it already, which is a really good move on or awesome move on Aerogarden's behalf. And then what I got right here is, you know, their liquid plant food for the Aerogardens. Yeah, this stuff does pretty well. Does the job how rather rather nicely for the Aerogarden. And but um, yeah. So basically, with the one this was also the thing is I haven't tested this theory myself, but um, I guess it even says in one of their little booklets and even says on the label here. I guess you can use it for your house plants too. So then it even says outdoor gardens, which would be interesting. Uh, yeah, so basically it says let's say on here half a capful for house plants per gallon, then a full capful per gallon for outdoor plants. But a little hydroponic gardening. All right. Um, now, let's see here. Right here in a second, I'll go ahead and go ahead and show you on the Aerogarden part. All right. Give me a second here. That's the way it looks right now. The unfortunate side effect, or part of this, that of having to put that in the Aerogarden is that I had to remove the water pump. So, so it didn't really have anything to circulate the water. It doesn't have anything to circulate the water, which is going to be a little different. Um, not that I'm complaining, but it's just different. Because everybody, uh, what people have become accustomed to with the Aerogarden is the circulating factor. Now, with it non-circulating, I'm not going to say anything that it doesn't work. It just is not going to be the same effect. But I'm not complaining. I just, you know, I don't know. I don't know how well that's going to work being it the Aerogarden way. Um, Now, I know non-circulating hydroponics can work in other ways, but I haven't done it like that with these models. Um, but no. But if anybody has any input on the arrow gardens or their experiences with them, by all means, go ahead and write it in the chat. Um, hey, what's up, Charles? How you doing? So Bloomberg. But yeah, let's see. Here, I'll go ahead and list off what I've got in there, or what I said in the Arrow Garden. Um, I kept it simple. I didn't double up with them all too much. Um, but in each one, I did drop two seeds just to play it safe. I have a tendency to do that on there. I know it's not totally necessary, but let's see. I'll just go down the list numerically and how I have it put in there. Um, okay, let's see. We got White Bell, CGN 21500, Santa Fe Grande. Um, this type of jalapeno that I got from this one place that I visited before. I said I've shared some seeds with a few people, but what it is with that one in particular, the peppers we got like a pretty big dark green color, and then fairly thick walled, and I've had one, some of them take up a pretty good space like that, and they're rather nice peppers. Um, I'm not sure what type of jalapeno it was, but all it was labeled as was red jalapeno. So I mean, to me, that's not saying a whole lot. But besides that, it turns red when it turns, gets ripe. But there's a lot of jalapeno strains that do that. But sorry, um, we got an ornamental in there, chocolate beauty, Trinidad perfume, cherry bomb, havasu, holy mole, dos deslandes, elfin ear, sweet banana, sangria, and this is what this, I'm just going to skip that a couple of them on there because they're just ones last strains I'm working on, and then this one's one of mine. Going on, I'll get back to those later on. This one's another one that I haven't done much with, and I gotta see if the seeds are still viable. That one's more of an experiment. Um, this other uh, this other big type of bell, the chocolate bell, chocolate cherry, Fresno, chili red. It's not the chili red that a lot of people think with the smaller pods. I'd gotten this one. These ones from the stores, for several seasons in a row, and they were marked as chili red, but they get bigger pods. more elongated, thicker wall. So I don't know. I'll just go with what they were labeled as. Um, and then cayenne, long sweet. Um, and then this one I labeled as Big Red Bell because the seeds I got it from, the bell was really big. So I mean, just given the size, just the sheer size of that pod that I bought, I saved seeds from it just to see how well, see if I can, you know, get that going along again because that'd be an awesome one. Um, Sweet Twister, and then another type of jalapeno that I've been kind of developing. And then a hob type that I've been kind of working with for off and on for past so many seasons. Sweet apple, and then another type of one that jalapeno type that I've been kind of developing, and another habanero. Um, so there's a couple types. There's most of them right there. So that will be interesting to see how that goes. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the Havasu turn out this year. Those got rather large last season. I'm looking forward to all of them really, but I mean, I always tend to look forward to every plant that I've tried to germinate and all that, just for the sake of seeing how well it goes. I mean, I'm more like I like to grow, I like to see them develop and all that, and come to pass with it, and provide the fruits they bear. Um, what's up, Stephen Miller? What's up, Pedro? Yeah, guys, that's basically the gist of that on the season there, Aerogarden. But I don't know. I will have to check the reservoir just to see how that's going. And yeah, there's a number of seedlings that I do got to transplant. I should have did that like a week ago or so, or even a couple weeks ago. But I mean, mm, it's been preoccupied, you could say. Um, what's up, Charlotte? Um, yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, so I'd like to see how the. I'm gonna check this hob right here. I want to be sure. Ah, come on. Dang it. Yeah, well, I usually look forward to produce from these areas, but that's unfortunate. Oh, come on, guys. Y'all can do better. Uh, got some brown seeds in there. You probably can't see them too well in there. But, what's up, Cody? What's up, Andy's Acres? Alright. But, um, we got a few plants in here. I don't know. Um, some of them I think I'm going to just get them out of the cracky setup and put them in somewhere else. Because, I don't know. With the way the water has been getting on these, I've been having to change the water out real frequently. So, oh yeah. But, and with the way I got this set up over here, it's getting very time consuming. Um, right. But, yeah. Uh, there's this plant that's getting by. I haven't seen the roots come out the bottom yet, but um, uh, um, let's see. And yeah, so with the that plant, that one's a cross that a fellow YouTuber sent me. Um, so I want to see how those turn out. Um, I think if I'm correct, they may be from something that he grew. I mean, he got the seeds from somebody else. He grew them in his garden, so it was in an open pollinated area. So yeah, if I'm correct, I could be wrong. So yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, usually I can bet that they're going to be okay, but um, you know, he was upfront in saying that he had them in his garden, and you know, that's that's cool because I know that for any number of things can happen when you're growing. There's always that possibility of something. But that cross, I'm looking forward to seeing. Hopefully, you'll have some nice shapes, nice pods, and everything about that. Yeah. All right. This pineapple plant's gonna get taller. I've been noticing it's gotten taller than what it was. Um, yeah. So yeah, I guess. Check that out. Here's a clover that's been growing in there. And wait, I guess there's this light that I had gotten. Hold on a second. And yeah, just got that light today, and so I'm just kind of looking forward to. Sorry about that camera angle. Looking forward to seeing how that turns out with that light. I mean, not expecting a whole lot, but sorry about those odd camera angles for a minute there. Right. But uh, so yeah, yeah. So those pineapples have gotten pretty tall comparatively. I just seen looked at a picture I have of the pineapples the way they looked in December of 2017. They're pretty much half the size they are now. Yeah. Some silver shark. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna have to look at some of these other bottles I got from this Aerogarden solution. Cause I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking because if I'm correct, then they changed the solution, the strength a little bit. But the it says the strength liquid. I'll put bruh, bruh. Uh, the strength is 436. So yeah, I don't know. That'd be interesting. Interesting to see how well they would go if somebody were to use them on their house plants or something. I haven't, but I mean, that'll be interesting. Um, well, what solution you need, I don't know. If you're in Canada and all that, I can't really say what you can use up there because I know as well as far as I know, I'm aware of. There's a lot of some things that aren't able to, or Canada doesn't allow it that way, as far as I'm aware. But I want to check around for um, different types of hydroponic types of solution. Um, because I can't really guarantee that you'll be able to get any of the stuff that's in America over there. Can't really guarantee that. I don't know the customs or the regulations. Um, you might want to look into that if at all possible. Um, yeah, so I don't know. In regards to this stuff, I might try an experiment on a couple plants. I mean, one that's in soil and whatnot, and for your home use. I know this works well in the Aerogarden because the Aerogarden's got a on a circulating system, so it pumps it, get it circulating, and yeah. So I mean, it even says on here is for seed starting, vegetable growth, vegetative growth, flowering, and fruiting. So they do got this formulated pretty well, but I can't really guarantee that if you do cracky style, I can't guarantee it works the same way. But I'll see why it wouldn't. But the only thing I can think of is that it's not circulating. So I think a lot of times with this, it separates after sitting for a while. But I think I'd be open to the idea of trying something different out with it. But I don't know, everyday Canadian. What types of solutions have you seen available by where you're at? Um, let's see. All right, those that was pod number two. I mean, I want to look at these two as well, but I don't want to get myself disappointed for not finding or for finding some brown seeds. Oh, then you might want to take a look. Uh, you can either go in your little browser and do a search on it. There's several shopping sites that you probably be able to go on and try. It may be a little more difficult for you because it may be a little restrictive comparatively what they have available in Canada versus where I'm at. But nice little pod. All right. All right. Well, Dojo says that they use their own solution or make their own solution. Well, that'd be interesting. No, I'm not going to personally ask what exactly you use to make your own solution, but I'm sure some people in the chat would be interested. Yeah, at least the season here look decent. Now, now it says you call it nettle soup. Now, okay. I'm sure you got people listening and wondering what you mean by that. I know that's probably just a nickname for what you're calling it, but uh, now Dojo, do you use that in hydroponics? Question. No, I only asked that because we were just talking about. He was just asking about a solution to use, and I figured he might be referring to hydroponics because I was just talking about that when he asked. It's okay, Dojo. You don't have to answer. Uh, now, there's several, a bunch of multiple types of use in hydroponics and that, but um, I haven't talked to too many people that make their own hydroponic solutions. I know it can be done, but I know there would be a bit of a process involved in that. Yeah, uh, I know that one company that makes a fish fertilizer. You know, well, that's like 5:1:1 ratio. They have several different other kinds. Excuse me, pepper. But they have ones that are step one, step twos to help get seeds going, plants going pretty well. And they have ones for different uh, stages, and they even got the calcium or magnesium part. One there you could add their clear liquid and zero fish smell. Oh yeah, yeah, man. There you go. That'd be one a good one. You can use fish tank water for that. As long as it's not a saltwater tank, then you're good. Yeah, you can use that. Um, what some people do is aquaponics. So you basically have the fish swim around in there, and then you can use some air bubblers in there. That'll be also work as a double for the plus side with getting the roots growing better, from what I've heard. I got like a little air pump thing over here. I was considering using that in a couple of plants I got, but I wasn't quite sure if I should. Because if I look at that right, given the size of the container some of these are in versus that, I don't know if it'll be too strong for it. Well, if hydroponic gardening is correct, then you could actually go ahead and go get some of those one other mixtures and then give it a try. But the aquaponics, that'd be something you'd readily have available. Um, you can even do it like this: do like a convert a lid or something on top of your fish tank, and do that with a couple plants. I've seen people do that in their fish tanks, and not far from where I'm staying at, there's some people that will actually do that on top of their fish tanks, have their plants in some kind of makeshift net cup thing with their roots in their fish tanks. So uh, I know there's a fair amount of people that use that one that he's saying the GH General Hydroponics. I've heard of that one. Um, I haven't used that, so I don't know. It seems pretty reputable. Seen that at a different lot of places. So yeah, see, if you have the fish readily available, man, go for it. Uh, if you got to get a bunch of guppies or something, or so just a handful of other fish. You don't have to get huge fish, but just get a ones of various sizes, not too big, but get what you got to get of them. I mean, you know, I've heard of aquaponics, but I don't mess with the fish tanks too often, and the way I grow, that might not be my best bet right now. Um, but I got ideas for what I'm going to do with some of the stuff. Yeah, well, cracking method is one you have to monitor as well. So, um, this year, after I go through all this, I will be narrowing down the amount of plants I use for cracky, at least indoors anyway, because it's just getting a bit much to be jumping back and forth with so many plants. And I mean, I'm not saying I can't do it. I think for with smaller varieties, I'll stick with doing that. And then, yeah. And then with the smaller containers, I use the smaller varieties. And for larger containers, I'm definitely going with a little bit bigger. I've had a fair amount of success with cracky. I wouldn't say I've been, extreme or wild with it, but I've had, okay. So at least in my eyes, anyway. I'm just saying, um, in in the cracky, what I've done with it, what I've seen, the solution has to be changed rather frequently, and then as well, it's just and the roots have to be regularly checked. I mean, if I had like a pump to circulate the water a bit, that would help. I mean, it would help a lot with it. Um, I mean, I could get a small fish tank pump. Then I would definitely, let's see, I could use some of these little air pumps. I might have to really look into that. But I know Reptos has done some aquaponics and stuff like that. But I mean, if anything, you know, I mean, you can probably check out some of his stuff. Um, yeah, see, general hydroponics gardening. I mean, sorry. Um, when you get a larger container, I've noticed that you can leave them sit for a fair amount of time before having to do anything. But um, when it comes to smaller containers, they have to be changed out frequently. In from what I've seen anyway. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. If you got a bigger container and are able to do that, by all means do it. But from what I've done in my own personal experience, it's been a little iffy. Um, iffy in the fact that a lot of them I'm using are smaller containers. So, but I've noticed that some of the ones I put in larger ones have been a little bit better. Yeah, well, with these ones, uh, these smaller ones, it gets like a weird film on the top of them, and so I have to end up switching it out because otherwise, sometimes the plants just start reacting a little weird to it. But other than that, um, I don't know. I just have to make some adjustments to some of the stuff here. Yeah, all right. Freaking technology. All right. All right. Yeah, so, um, all right. So, skunk. No, but, I don't know if I can't guarantee that's. No, I don't think that's specific to peppers. Um, I did have a marigold that was that I had there that is started kind of acting funky, but I think it was just. I mean, it was doing all right, but I just needed to clear some room, so I had to get rid of it. And but I've noticed that a lot of sometimes the roots will, get nice and full. And then after giving it a little bit of time, the roots start dying back, and then they regrow the roots. Then they die back again. They regrow the roots and die back again. It's a back and forth cycle with the roots. I'm not saying the plant won't do well, but it just seems like you know, they'll start do like a cycle with the rooting. The roots will do well, then they'll start discarding some of the older roots, and which isn't bad. It's just a little different. Yeah. So I don't know. I've just seen different things with different plants, and I usually change them out when I start seeing so much film build up, because then it just seems like it gets this stuff right on the roots area where the roots are in there. So, but I don't know. I just think that's the thing that's in cracky style setup. I think that possibly um, if it were to be circulating, probably then that'd be a little different. It wouldn't have a chance to settle and get stagnant. Um, though I have a plant or two right now that literally is more than a year old and cracky, but I'm just trying to keep those going long enough so I can switch them to outside, and then possibly, hopefully get them, switched into some other type of container. Um, I'm not saying it'll work, but it'd be nice. Um, um, I'm sure if you hydroponic gardening, if you check out Matt Garver, he's pretty well into the hydroponics. And I've talked to him. I've talked to him a fair amount about it, about hydroponics and that, and he's got some insight on that. He does pretty well in his own right, uh, doing that. Yeah, I'm sure. Which I wouldn't doubt that you've heard of him, but yeah. So if you can check him out, um, but it would be interesting to see see how his stuff or see how everybody's stuff turns out. But yeah, I mean, I like the fact of the things that can be done with the cracky style, but in order for me to effectively do stuff a certain way, I have to remove that aspect of how many plants I'm doing indoors. I mean, I'm not saying I can't do it. I just would be better off adjusting the, the quantity. I mean, maybe some of them I'll do with, some certain plants I'll do like that. Let's say, like the smaller varieties, like I mentioned, indoors. And then there's other ones I'll do that can be adapted pretty well to smaller containers. Um, like I said, ornamentals do fine. There are certain other varieties that don't get that tall as well. Um, there'll be some types of habaneros that'll do well in that. Um, I I know scorpions can do well in that, but since they've given them that they can get rather large, they can actually, you know, be a bit of a challenge in that aspect. Um, let's see. I mean, depending on your grow area and what you have at your disposal. Now, tomatoes are different, man. Tomatoes just they grow, they grow, they grow. Um, and I mean, I don't mind tomatoes. Um, I don't use them as much as I do peppers, but I don't know. There's nothing wrong with that. Having that many. Um, but I mean, I know there's people that just grow none but tomatoes and other types of vegetables. right. Now, let's see. Mm, well, hey, just me. How's it going? Let's see. Hey, growing jalapenos is nice. There's nothing wrong with that. I grow jalapenos as much as I can as well. Those are those they have their place. They're pretty good. Um, right, yes. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Um, let's see. I thought I'd see one of you guys make a comment about Aerogarden. Oh yeah, the Aerogards are nicely set up. Um, I can agree with you. They look like a certain of quality, but it would be more proper if they would have the where the reservoir deeper and bigger. Because with the way they have it currently set up on certain models, if you get the seed starter, you're not going to be able to use the pump in them. Certain models, but I guess. Dang it, I don't know why I'm reading all of my habaneros. I was going to do something with them more tomorrow. Had an idea, but whatever. I'll lay it down. Right, right. The seeds on this one's in good condition. All right, I'm saving these seeds, so um, I'll probably just give away the seeds to whoever. But I don't really need habanero seeds. Really, truly don't, because I got plenty of habaneros or habanero varieties type seeds. But there is a certain variety that I did save seeds from that I was experimenting with. But I don't know. I have to see how that goes. I can germinate it. Just probably should have thrown a couple of seeds in the Aerogarden and start germinating them. But, uh, if you're wondering how many I could start in the specific one I can start at 31 seedlings in this one. There's other ones you can start more, and it just depends on the model you have. Um, like like the seed pod kit or the 3 pod kit, there could be like at least 18 seedlings you can start that, which isn't bad. I mean, if you have one of those or a couple of those actually, you can get those little 3 pod kits for or 3 pod Aerogardens for about 40, $50. And then yeah, then you could just and if you had the seed starters for both a couple of those, then you could have easily several dozen plants. Start. Um, almost forgot about this. The bounty, I think, can hold more seedlings than the one I'm using. Yeah, there's a very the what I've learned so far. The arrow gardens can be pretty nifty in their uses, but I personally haven't used them in as many ways as I could. But I'm working my way to that. Yeah, it is very different using them. So just checking this plant. So I do need to get some solution in this one. It's kind of low. Right. Got this plant here, or plants, I should say. There's 2 of them in this. It's in a 32-ounce sports drink bottle. As the solution is a little too low, even though I need to make more. Right now, I'll just put a little bit of water in here. So it doesn't dry out too fast. But so this does got a couple little pods on it. There's one there, one here, and little one right there. But so I am looking forward to getting a number of these plants outside and that. Uh, there's a couple of containers that I'll have to get that I know I can buy for not a high price, but I'll have to figure out a way to keep them stabilized while they're out there. So I know the wind can kind of make them lean over and all that. So, well, I'd say give that a try definitely because I think you'd find that worth it. Uh, Looking into the seed starter thing, especially if you do cracky style. I actually have a number of my plants that I just took the net cup thing from the Aerogarden, put it in the container that I was going to use to grow the cracking style setups. Um, Here, give me 1 second. Yeah, this one feels a little light. It's probably because I need to put some solution in here. See, this one I haven't trimmed back or anything. It's just the way this one naturally grew. But oh snap. Yeah, this water level is pretty low. Um, but if y'all can see, this is about that much airspace in there. And there it goes. All right. Yeah, but I mean, some of the varieties can take a little while to uh get something on them. But I don't know. See, here's the roots on this one. Uh, you definitely got to switch these out. Uh, this is one of the things that I don't mind doing with the crackies now. It's just with as much as I've been switching these things out, I think it's be more efficient for me to have some with a larger reservoir. And the larger reservoir is always nicer because you don't have to swap mess with it as much. Especially if you have a certain amount of plants, then it takes more time moving them around, doing this and that. Um, yeah, yeah, I've noticed that on some varieties it'll take like almost a couple weeks in the Aerogarden to germinate. Other varieties like that, they just boom. That's just a little can get a little odd, but for the most part, most of them start pretty soon. But there's been times I left several plants in the Aerogarden, and they did actually start fruiting and everything. It's just like one there's one kind of ornamental that I was been kind of messing with. It actually would would get the flowers on it, but the flowers would drop. Another plant over, I could that would be fruiting like crazy. Right. So yeah, I've noticed this is that some some peppers will take quite a while, but then others not so long. But yeah, so um, and some of it like the herbs like lettuce start germinates very fast. Um, but the basil that took a little while. I mean, this was the basil in the seed pot kit that came with them. That took a little while to get going. It germinated, the seed came up, or the plant seedling came up. That just stayed in that little state for a number of weeks, and then all of a sudden it just started jumping up. And I trimmed it back a couple times, and it still did that, and then it kept coming back. And then I moved it out of there, moved into cracky style setup. Had a couple of them in coffee containers. And they were going. I wanted them to see how big they would get. Had them in a 5 gallon tote. That was two basil plants in a 5 gallon tote, and they actually did really well, really well. Um, so and then I moved the container outside and just let it be out there. Um, yeah, bell peppers sometimes can take a little while. But, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I noticed that in cracky setups, sometimes there'll be periods where the plants just, you know, just chill. They don't do a whole lot. And then every other times you'll see them just grow. Um, all right, guys. Let's see. All right. Well, I think what I might do um, here is I'm gonna. Uh, I don't know. I gotta figure out what I'm going to do with these habanero seeds. I'm probably not going to grow them, but uh, yeah, I'm not going to end up really growing these habanero seeds here. Um, as I mentioned before, I got plenty of habaneros and that around. Um, but but um uh let's see. Oh boy. All right. Um yeah. So but yeah, as I was saying with the Aerogarden seed starting system, if you have an Aerogarden and you know you're going to grow a number of plants, it would not be a bad thing to put that seed starter system to use. Um, I know me personally, I mean, I'm trying it out because I'd like to see how that works. And I still got a lot of experimenting to do with that, so that should help take me there on that route. And yeah, uh, all right, guys. Uh, all right, guys. I think I'm gonna get ready to close down this live stream. Um, I mean, it is 10 o'clock here, and in order for me to efficiently get back to getting some things I really need to get done tomorrow, I have to get moving on that. Uh, so, I mean, so won't be long before it becomes a little past 4 a.m. around here. A few hours come by rather quickly. Um, all right. So, yeah, yeah. So I'll have a busy day tomorrow, transplanting a handful of plants into cups that are bigger. Oh, good lord. Yeah, yeah. Um, all right. That'll give me something I have to do in the morning. I will have to go get some things and transplant them into. Oh boy. Yeah. All right. This will be fun. Um, yeah. Those things should get them going pretty good. Um, yeah. If I do it a certain way, I could actually. Yeah, I have to see what I can do. Yeah. All right. All right, guys. Be sure to stay in touch, please, because G Plus is supposed to be on its way out soon. So please stay in touch. And yeah, uh, there is the other site called MeWe. Um, a lot of G Plus people are going there, and yeah, and I know there's a pepper lovers community on there, and we got now. I guess recently, if I'm correct, there's one on Reddit. Um, but yeah, just keep an eye out for all that, and yeah, um, so yeah, but all right, I will use that little thing over there, or will I use that thing there to get I haven't decided what I'm going to use for these ones to get going, but I'll figure out something. All right, everybody. Hope you all do well. Have a great night, and yeah, and have a great week, month, year, bicentennial, millennial, whatever you want to call it to come up next. All right. So, but all right. Talk to y'all soon. Okay. This is what I got to do here. Um, Hey, if anybody in the chat knows like some habanero seeds, by all means you can have them. I have enough habanero seeds. But um, anyway, okay, guys. And yeah, Dojo. Um, Uh, if you want, be sure to message me on Hangouts or something, Dojo. But okay, guys. Hope everybody has a great night. Okay. Talk to y'all. Hope y'all do well and or be well and have a good night, like I just said. And peace be on to you dudes. All right, everybody. Remember the hashtag. Keep it spicy. Check y'all in the next video. All right. Remember. All right, guys. Peace out. Remember the hashtag. Keep it spicy. See y'all in the next video. And pepper lovers, stay connected. All right. Peace. Later.